All right, so what's up, guys? I'm here with Tommy Williams, who got first at a 180 person like triple case tournament. He got three cases, all different stuff, OTS. So it's pretty insane, pretty competitive. Is there anything you want to say about this deck before we get into it?
Yeah, it's actually a funny story. So I was like planning on playing the bird deck for the tournament, but I'm in school right now, so I didn't have too much time to like practice. So I just figured I'd like go with what I was playing before, and it just worked out. So
Yeah, was there a reason you want to play birds? Just because it's like infinities?
yeah, so I'm pretty sure bird is just the best deck. Like it ends on the biggest board, it can go second like relatively well. So like it like fills all the check marks you want for like the best deck, but it's just like not an easy deck to pilot. So
I,
I didn't really trust myself to play it, and I didn't want to lose to myself. So
I feel like everyone who does well with Sword Souls doesn't want to play it, and then like they just sack it out.
yeah, it's just like the safe choice,
Yeah, I mean this is similar to what I played, the Prosperity hand trap build, but you got some spice with designators and everything. So
Yeah,
we'll
a
just
little
go
bit.
through it. Three Ash Blossom. It's pretty staple right now. The DPA package because you're playing Fusion Destiny, Dasher, and
Mhm.
Celestial. Two Effect Veiler is the reason you wanted two instead of three.
Yeah, like I wish I could play three, but like I couldn't find anything to cut. Like a lot of people play one trap, but I feel like the trap is like really important to like foolish ones. You could like pop the trap you summon like the token. You could pop the token with your second trap. So like that interaction is like really important in the grind game. So like there was like nothing else I like felt was cuttable, so I just like played two.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. Sometimes you can sync with it too. It's one edge if people aren't playing
Yeah, that is
tactics.
true.
Three Ecclesia, mandatory. Three Moye, pretty mandatory. Two Taye. Do you think you have to play two, even if you're not playing
Uh,
Desires?
I think you can't play one, and you could play three, but you really don't want to open it. So you want one for like your turn one maybe if you summon it, and then like one for the follow up in a grind game. So I think two is pretty fun.
Okay, sweet. Your mic's just a little like staticky, just so you know.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Oh, it sounds good now. All right, so three long yawn. I think that's pretty stable. Some people run two, but it's a really powerful card. Called by the
I'm not a
Grave,
fan of
and
Yeah.
three Designator. So that's a lot of going first cards. How'd you think that went?
Yeah, so Designator was weird. Like Peng told me about it and I tested it out and it was actually like really good. So I think the card is like people don't like the card, but like it's not good in most decks, but I feel like this deck could like play it really well because like you don't have to add any cards to your deck to like play it. So you're just adding the three cross out, and you already play like four to five like good targets for it. And it actually like, really overperformed, especially like locals where everybody's playing hand traps and stuff. Like I think I resolved that card like at least like 15 times during the tournament. It was like really crazy.
Well, you probably played a lot of mirrors then, huh? Because I know. I mean, this card's so insane in the mirror. For one,
Yeah,
like
like in the mirror it's insane. Any deck playing like the hero package, you can call Destiny Fusion, you can call Prosperity, any hand trap. Like the deck has so many targets. So that card was like really good, going first and second.
and you got the droplets. You can even
Yeah,
negate that.
droplets is crazy. Yeah, like especially in the mirror match, you could like half their guy and then like run over it. So you turn off their monsters and the trap, and then you could just play main phase two. So droplet was like insane. Like,
Yeah, especially with the Berserker. I mean, it's just
oh
OTK.
yeah, it's
It's
so
great.
good.
And then three Fusion Destiny. Can't make Verte easy in this deck. So
Yeah, the
three.
Fusion Destiny is like you don't want to play like the pure deck because like it's not consistent enough. So it gives you like three more starters and it gives you like more power to your deck, raises the ceiling a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most interesting thing is just no Vishudas. You know, like you don't play any Tennies at all. Just
Yeah, like the shoot is really cool, but like going first it's like really bad, and going second is just like a one for one. I'd like I don't really want to add like a card that's going I don't want to add a card that's like bad going first. It's like only a one for one going second. So I didn't see the justification for it.
yeah, I mean, honestly, it's weird. I feel like decks just like lack going first cards a lot of the time, and people don't like. I don't know. They're just not set
Yeah.
up enough for going first. Three Pot of Prosperity. Was that really good?
Yeah, that card was like actually insane. Like you just like dig for like your missing piece. Like if you need a starter, you dig for the starter. If you need like you can always search like cross out. Going second, you could search like droplet. Post side, you could search anti spell evenly. All the blowouts. Like I think like raising the consistency of your deck is just like huge, especially like in a local tournament where everybody's playing like pretty fair decks, and you should win if you don't brick. So as long as you don't break, like that card just helps you get there.
Yeah, and just because I know some people will be interested, do you have like a six go-to banish?
Yeah, so usually going first, you would do the two XYZs. If you draw Destiny Fusion, you do the Verte. I would do Yazi a lot. The Swordsoul level 10, I do him a lot because he's like pretty bad in this deck because like you
Mm-hmm.
don't get worm locked, so you're usually summoning Baron. You do the Math Mech in a lot of matchups. Like any matchup that card's bad and you just like banish that instantly.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too.
Berserker's pretty like average, you banish him a lot. Crimson Blader, yeah, it's like between those like six, seven cards.
Yep. All right, cool. And three emergence makes sense. One summit helps with the verte, right? And
Yeah,
then
Summit, like I would side that out a lot because like you really don't want it post side unless like because it's like pretty bad going second, and then going first, like it plays into nib pretty hard, so that's like an easy side out. But game one is like really good.
all right, that's interesting. That's good to know. Three imperms.
Yeah, it's like
That's kind of a
super
staple right
generic,
now.
doesn't look good tactically. Yeah.
Yeah, and then two blackouts. The reason you play two.
Yeah, so like I told you, you don't want to play one because like you want it to grind and the interaction where you could like foolish it to banish and summon a token is like really important to like force you tie A through on turn
Mm-hmm.
three. So, like going first, you don't usually want to make a big board. You just like want to like control the game kind of. So like you would like foolish one of tie A, add the second one to your hand, and then like if you have tie A for the follow up, so next turn you just play through any hand trap because like you go tie A, banish trap, and it like goes through automatically because even if they negate, you still get the token. So like that card was like insane in Grave. Yeah, I honestly think the Grave effect is like almost better than the like on field effect.
Yeah, I mean it just helps you play through stuff so much. The Protos in the side. Did you want a mana after this, or was it perfect
Nah, so
there?
like the issue with the pure deck is you can't consistently summon Frodos, which is like the worst part about playing pure. But like you still want the card in your deck just in case you could summon it. But going second, it's like a little bit easier to summon, and like if you somehow get to like turn three and four, obviously you could just drop it anytime. So like you still want it, but there's no reason to main deck it if you can't summon it consistently.
Yeah, yeah. I think people like underestimate that because I see a lot of people just like have a dead Dragite because they had to banish their Moyage to like summon Protos, and then
Yeah, you
they
have to
just
like
misplay
actually
to
open
force
perfect to
it.
drop it turn one.
Yeah.
And if you open that well, you should win anyway. So like yeah, you really don't need to main deck it.
Mm-hmm. And then three dimension shifter. That's pretty spicy.
Yeah,
Good
that card
Hendra.
was actually like so crazy. Like the matchups it's good in, it's just like insane in. Like it usually skips their turn. Like against tribrigade, any invoke deck, Phantom Knight, Bird is like four of like the top like six or seven decks it's good against at least, and that's not even counting Rogue. So like, I almost wanted to main deck it, but at the local, a lot of people are still playing Swordsoul, so I didn't want to. But like at
Mm-hmm.
like a YCS type tournament, I would definitely consider main decking it, especially for like top cut to like counter like Bird and all those like crazy like combo decks.
Yeah, just give you an edge. I mean, it is an
Yeah.
insane card. It's probably like the best hand trap going second. Lightning Storm, just two, right?
Yeah, like I wanted to play three, but I didn't see anything to cut. Like I wanted like five good going first cards and five good going second cards. So like I played three Judgment, two Anti Spell, and three evenly two Lightning Storm. So
And you got the
it's just
order
like
too.
probability. Oh yeah, order two. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Evenly is like the best going second card, I think, and then you got the shifters too. So,
Yeah, I think evenly has like the least amount of counterplay because it doesn't list the Anti Spell. So like if I could, I'd
mm,
play five evenly, but you obviously can't.
yep, yeah. Two anti spell. We just talked about that. Three evenly matched.
Yeah,
You said
evenly
this
are like
inverse like
so good.
everything, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like any deck that doesn't like sight lock you usually put it in against. Like yeah, I think every deck except like Phantom Knight and Bird, you put that in, and it's just like insane if you draw it. Usually win the game.
Yeah. Were you siding on Designator a lot at all, or?
Yeah. Against the control decks, like you take out like the designators for like the blowout cards. So like even if they have the hand trap, you should still win if you like draw evenly Lightning Storm. So yeah, I don't think you keep designator and going second in like most matchups.
Yep. Then Imperial Order and three Solemn Judgments. Did this ever suck in time? Because that's always what I worry about playing this in like real tournaments.
So like I didn't really go into time at all. I went into time once the whole tournament. Like the deck is like really easy to play. I was playing pretty
True.
fast. My opponents like played pretty fast, so like time was like not really an issue.
Yeah.
And Top Cut didn't have time, so in Top Cut it was crazy. Like
Oh, okay.
I drew like two in the finals game two against Striker. It was just like crazy. Like
Makes sense. The one DPE, Dragite. I don't know if you summon this a lot.
yeah, so like the pure deck summons that card like a lot because you never worm blocked. So like Draga is like really good.
Mm-hmm. Makes
Definitely
sense.
overperforms.
Baronet de Fleur.
Baron was crazy. I almost want to play two, like over the cheese. What's the card called? The level 10. Like I never summoned him once the whole tournament, so like I would definitely consider playing two Baron in this deck, but it never came up. But just in case.
Yeah, he's good for lethal. That's like about it. Whenever I use him.
Hmm.
Baxia,
Yeah, you only need one because you're never doing the turn one play because you don't play Chow Fang,
Chavang.
so one is fine.
Yeah, that makes sense. Crimson Blader, was this really good in the mirror?
It never came up today, but when it does come up, it's just game. But usually, if you could play going second, you should win anyway.
Y-
But I would probably cut it for something else.
Yeah, I see a lot of first place builds playing this still, and I know it doesn't come up that much, but
Hmm.
Draco Berserker, I feel like that's a
Uh,
must, right?
yeah, it's pretty stable. Like I think it came out once or twice. You don't need it, but when it comes up, it's just like it wins the
Especially with the
game.
droplets. I mean, that's why I love it in the mirror with
Oh
droplets.
yeah, that's a crazy interaction.
And then this card's crazy. Geomath
Yeah,
attack, mini like
at locals, there's a
towers.
lot of like Thunderies decks that like can out towers. Striker has like a really hard time with him. So like I think it's like really important for like local type tournaments.
Yeah, that's a good call. Though. Rudy Rose, I think this card's busted.
Yeah, that card's insane. Like you need him to like if they DPE you and you're going second, you need that card because like banishing DPE alone isn't usually enough because they can still draw two and like come back. So this card just gets rid of all that
Yeah,
tempo and like
especially versus
it,
Phantom Knights.
oh yeah, Striker, Phantom Knight, any like grave strategy just loses to that card like automatically.
And then two Chixao.
Yeah, all you need. If you played three, you probably just like did something wrong. Like if you need the third one.
Yeah, I mean, I would banish this card with Prosperity a lot too,
Yeah, I've
honestly.
thought about it in like simplified game states. Like sometimes when I prosperity twice, I would banish the second one, but that's like that only came up like once or twice.
Yeah. One Ching Yang, you said this card kind of sucks.
Yeah, I think it's cuttable because like usually when you want to use this effect, like Rudy Rose is just better. So like
Mm-hmm.
I think he's only good if you're locked into worms, which this deck doesn't have an issue with.
Okay, and then one Yazi.
Yeah, that card's
OTK
insane.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, like normal summoning Ash and like being able to sync her is like really good. That actually came up a few times, so that was like insane.
Yeah, true. Zeus and Baguska. I think these cards are broken in the mirror. It
They're
really helps with
broken,
token
but
collector.
the weird thing about this deck is usually if you have two bodies on the field and you get interrupted twice, you're just making Verte. So I think if you play Verte, you really don't need the Zeus package because like usually after they interrupt you twice, you don't really like have anything to clear. So like summoning DPE should just be enough to win.
Yeah.
So I think in the future I would play like Maximus targets because especially at locals because like I think I played against like three or four invoke decks and like once you get Maximus it's like impossible to win. But if you play the targets for it, you should just like auto win like once they Maximus you. So I think playing the Maximus targets is just like correct in this deck because you have so many flex spots. So I'd probably cut like the Zeus package and something else for Maximus targets.
Yeah, invoked is hard. And I mean, you really only summon Baguska. I feel like a lot of times you have to summon it in defense in the mirror when the game state's like super simplified
Yeah,
because that's
that
your
never
only
came
out.
up,
Yeah.
but that can steal a game if you could like stall out for a few
Yeah.
turns.
Verte, you keep playing Fusion Destiny, it definitely comes
Yeah,
up.
self-explanatory.
Yep. All right. Any shout outs you want to give or closing statements about the deck?
Yeah, I want to shout out all my boys, Yampi, Hani,
Yeah.
everyone that supported me, Team Luxury, all the homies, Casamigos group chat, you know who you are. Um, that's really it. It was a pretty good tournament. I went in not expecting to do well because like I didn't think I was playing the best deck, but I knew I was
Yeah,
playing a solid deck. I knew like what I was doing, so it just worked out. So
yeah, I mean, that's how it goes. Well, from one Tommy to another, thanks for the profile. Appreciate it, man. Peace out.
anytime, bro. Thanks.